Hi, this is Mrs. Secor, and we're going to do problem 1 again. I know you started this in your notebook. Tangent. Okay, the tangent of the angle is the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. Okay, and here's our reference angle, tangent of 40, so it'd be opposite x over 13. And I think we wrote something like this. Tangent of 40. I asked you to write it in proportion form, so we'll write it over 1. We're following this equation, equals x over 13. And then we do our cross products, and we end up with x equals 13 times tangent of 4. Remember, I told you to write the, of 40, write the 13 before the trig function. And we put it in our calculator, and we got 10.9. Okay, so we're going to go on. Next one I'll show you. Put it in the calculator. Okay, this is also tangent, and we have our reference angle 20. So the tangent of 20, we'll write it over 1. And our proportion, let's see, it would be opposite the reference angle. Spray the bottle, x. And then the side adjacent is 20. So x equals, now remember we're going to multiply our 20 times our tangent of 20. Okay, let's go to the calculator and see how it looks. Okay, so that was 20 times tangent of 20. Okay, and it looks like it's round to the nearest tenth, 7.3. So x equals 7.3. This leg is 7.3. Okay, the next trig function. Again, we're working just with tangent, so that's a giveaway. Here's our reference angle. Tangent of 32 is opposite 20 over adjacent. 20 over x. So we end up with x times tangent of 32 equals 20. Wow, this one really looks different. See how we had x equals? This time we have x times the tangent of 32 equals 20. How do we undo this? Just solve for x, isolate the x. Well, we have to divide by 32, tangent of 32. So x equals 20 divided by tangent of 32. See, the x had to be isolated by dividing by tangent of 32. Okay, so let's go to the calculator and do that. Okay, so that was tangent of 32 divided by, oh no, it wasn't. It was 20 divided by, excuse me, wasn't it? Okay, so it's 20 divided by the tangent of 32. I'll even close the parentheses, and we get, oh, 32. That's kind of weird. 32. Okay, so that side length was 32. X is 32. That makes sense. If that's 20, that does look like 32. All right, let's find this leg. We have 57 equal to opposite. Remember, this is the hypotenuse, and we're not even considering that. Opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. 18 over x. Oh, it's another one of those with the x in the denominator. So we'll have x times the tangent, because this is over 1, times the tangent of 57 equals 18. So we'll divide both sides by the tangent of 57. I'll write it down this time so you can see what I'm doing. These cancel, And so we get x equals 18 divided by the tangent of 57. So if the x is in the denominator, we divide, right? If x is in the numerator up here, we end up multiplying. Just a little hint. Let's go out there and do that. 18 divided by the tangent of 57. I hope you're working this along with me. And we get 11.68, so 11.7. X equals 11.7. Let's see if that makes sense. If that's 18, yeah, that's 11.7. Okay, good. All right, let's go to sine and cosine. Now, sine and cosine, they are another ratio. The sine is the opposite leg over the hypotenuse, and the cosine is the adjacent leg over the hypotenuse. So let's focus on our reference angle, Z. Here is Z, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Here's the hypotenuse across from the right angle. Opposite, if I spray the bottle, it goes over here, 32. This is opposite. So sine of Z is 32 over 40. Opposite hypotenuse. Let's do sine again of Z. Okay? I'll let you write it down. This is the hypotenuse, across from the right angle. This is opposite. So it's 27 over 45. Opposite hypotenuse. Okay, let's do the next one. Cosine of C, this angle. Okay, C is about the adjacent leg, again, over the hypotenuse. Okay, 30 is the hypotenuse. Okay, this is opposite. This is adjacent. Adjacent, next to this angle. It's touching it. Not the hypotenuse, but the other side. So it's 18 over 30. Okay, the next one. Cosine of A. I'll pause a minute, let you do it. This is the hypotenuse, and the adjacent side is the 15 next to the angle. So it'd be 15 over 39. Now let's solve some problems. All right. Let's decide what this one is. Here's our reference angle. Here's our hypotenuse. And this is next to that angle. So that's adjacent. Adjacent and hypotenuse. See how it's got to be cosine? We have to find this, and then we go back and say, oh, that's cosine. Cosine 67. Just like we did tangent, we write them as proportions. Now this would be x adjacent over hypotenuse, 19. Do our cross products. X equals 19 times the cosine of 67. X equals okay, I can't remember what that was. 19 times cosine of 67. 7.4. 7.4. Okay, the next one. Here's our reference angle. Here's our hypotenuse. Opposite, isn't it? opposite. Opposite hypotenuse. Oh, must be sine. So we choose sine. Sine of 70 over 1 equals x over 15. So x equals 15 times the sine of 70. Times the sine of 70. 14.1. All right, the next one. Reference angle, hypotenuse, opposite, okay? Opposite and hypotenuse. Sine. Sine of 30 equals x over 18. Would you calculate it? And what are you getting? I hope you get 9. And the last one here. Okay, here's our reference angle, here's our hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. Cosine of 39 x adjacent over 11. X equals 11 times the cosine of 39. Okay, and go ahead and put that in. And what are you getting? 8.5? I think so. And thank you.